Well, guys, it seems like that just a few days ago, a few weeks ago at most, every time I go on YouTube to watch videos, I would see several videos that would pop up talking about the open southern border, the open northern border, and about the influx of illegals and about the detriment to our culture, society, economy that all this mass unchecked immigration was causing. Now, you go on YouTube, you go on the news, and you watch anything news related, and the talk of the day now is about Israel's borders actually. Israel and their war with Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, about the United States sending military ships, Navy ships, sending aircraft carriers, destroyers to that region. We're talking about Russia helping to arm Iran, talking about Ukraine, talking about Russia. They're talking about the Trump assassination attempt. They're talking about Joe Biden dropping out of the election. They're wondering if Joe Biden is still alive. They're talking about Kamala Harris. They're talking about her. They're talking about how she's surging in the polls. They're talking about her vice presidential running mate now she's chosen. They're talking about Donald Trump. They're talking about his vice presidential running mate. They're talking about the election. They're talking about everything besides the open southern border. It seems like that people has just forgotten about that southern border being completely open and allowing mass illegal immigration. Deer. That's a doe usually doing it right there. She's been over there and she's heard me talking and got a little bit scared, so they will do it blowing like that for some reason. Anyway. She's pissed off. Anyways, no one seems to be talking about this open southern border, and now actually the northern border also. It's been open for a while, but the southern border's got way more attention previously in the alternative media. So the northern border is also open with thousands coming across the northern border from Canada to the United States. That's also happening. But both borders are still wide open. We still have thousands of people coming in here every single week illegally, millions per year, and it seems no one is really talking about it anymore. Used to be, like I said, it was most videos I saw on YouTube, or a lot of the videos I saw on YouTube, especially with alternative media, like prepping channels and redacted and people talking about news topics, they were talking about the border being wide open. Now, it's always about something else. It seems everyone has forgotten about the threat of that southern border, but that threat, and the northern border also, but the threat is still there. They're still crossing through, and no one seems to be paying attention right now. Everyone's worried about something else, but that doesn't make it any less important. It's still very important, and it's still very dangerous in my opinion. It's common sense to tell you that having millions of people come through into your country, unchecked, unvetted, is not a good thing. And I know that a lot of people when they were talking about this, especially people who get caught up in the election clown shows that we have here in the United States, they were talking about it being the Democrats' way of cheating in the election, because it's all about Donald J. Trump. They want to import 40 million people across the southern border and the northern border and make those people new Democrat voters, because they can't win on their own. They can't win with the American people, so they have to import all these millions of people and register those people to vote. And, you know, that makes sense. It sounds right. However, if you look at it, that's not the case. The selections are all rigged. They don't care about your vote. They put who they want to in because they have the system set up where it's all rigged. And anyone that goes in to office as the president, the head of this United States corporation that we call America, the United States, anyone that goes in will be who they want to go in. It's already predetermined, it's already rigged. So they don't care about these votes. They don't care about that at all. That's not what this is all about. I know a lot of people will be clicking off the video right now because they don't want to hear this, but it is the truth. They don't care about our votes, and they're not importing these people across and allowing these people to come across because of votes. And it's not to get cheap labor. It's not because they care so much they want to help these people. It's not because they care about the United States and they want to make us stronger. You know, they will tell us that these people make our country stronger. This diversity makes the country stronger. It's all bullshit. Anyone with any brain knows that is the case. If you pay attention, it's happening in multiple countries, multiple Western countries. Anywhere that the majority of the population is white, Christian, they're importing millions of people into those areas. Look at the UK right now, what's going on there with the rights and things. So it's not just about the United States. They're doing this to all these Western countries. They're trying to change the culture. They're trying to make white folks the minority in their own country, and that's for a reason, because they want to cause division. And if you are in the United States, if you're in the UK, and you complain like I'm doing right here, but right now it's happening more in the United Kingdom, but it will come here also. They'll probably knock on my door here anytime because of these videos I make talking about this and criticizing the federal government and what they do, because we are living in more of a communist country now than we ever have been, and it's heading more and more toward that end, and that is actually the goal, and I'll get to that here in just a minute. But you complain, they import all these people, and they give these people housing, they go in massive debt, that's the taxpayer debt, because that's the way it works. They're supposed to represent us, and they spend the money to represent us, our tax dollars, and they're going into massive debt. We're already over $35 trillion in debt here, and you can imagine, I have no idea how much it cost, but you can imagine the cost to bring these people in, to put these people on prepaid debit cards, put these people on medical care, housing, huge cost, huge expense. And it seems these people come across, not just here in the United States, but in other countries also, like I said, they will come across and they will have pretty much what would be considered diplomatic immunity. They can do pretty much whatever they want to do. They can drive without a license. They can do pretty much anything they want to do, including violent crime. And if they do get arrested, they get let right back out. They will get a slap on the wrist. They will get paperwork to appear in court later, even for things like rape and stuff like that. I've read about that happening in the UK. And it's coming here. It's already here. If you go to a lot of the areas, not here where I am right now, but it will probably come at some point in the future. But in these sanctuary cities, they pretty much have diplomatic immunity. And if you complain about all this, if you complain about all the freebies they're getting, the housing they're getting, I saw a video of a guy. He'd been working. It was a black guy. He'd been working at his job, being a good man, and he was living. I forget who owned the building he was living in, but he was living in a housing project of some sort, and he had been at work all day, and he came back. I think it was Chicago actually where he was at. It's the United States, I remember, but he came back from working all day, and the police were there, and he had been kicked out of his home because they wanted to house illegals there. So these things they do is designed to make the native population angry. And they will use that anger to cause violence between both sides, rioting, looting, and they will come after people who speak out against their policies because it makes more anger. And you see, like the CIA runs a color revolution where they overthrow current governments, and we're seeing kind of that here in the United States and around the world, in my opinion, because these globalists that actually run everything, they want these people to come through by the millions, destabilize the population to replace the current population, and they know that eventually all hell's going to break loose. They know this. They know the violence between the two groups is going to break loose because of limited resources, limited space, and you have these people coming across that don't want to assimilate. They want to assimilate you into what they are, what they believe. They come in, and like I said, they're treated like kings, diplomatic royalty. I mean, they come in, they get everything free, and when that's taken away, if it ever gets taken away, or if it don't, people are getting angry about that, and they want this. They want people to burn. They want people to loot. They want people to riot, and you will have a lot of people say, "Why would the government want that?" The government, our government, the government in the UK, Australia, wherever, works for the same people. The globalist that control, the Bilderberg group, pretty much. There's a few other groups, but they're all connected in together. I mean, it's like a spider web that comes down to control everything. But the same people pretty much control most of the world. And if they can cause enough division, enough strife, enough destruction, then the people will beg for them to come in and do something. And that's when the Constitution gets suspended. You get martial law, you get more police powers, you get more dictatorial powers from the government, you get more surveillance. I mean, it's already at an astonishing level here, but it's not enough. They want to know everything about you. They want to be able to take your firearms for your protection. They want to be able to put a camera everywhere, probably including in your home. They want to watch everything you do. They want to know if you have a bowel movement, what time it was, how much it weighed. They want to know everything about everything that we do. And if you make things bad enough, people in the United States will beg and plead for the government to come in and do something to fix the problem, to fix this violence. Our cities are burning down. Our towns are burning down. We have mass rape. We have mass murder, robbery. The economy is crashing. Everything is crashing down. So government, please come in and save us. And this is not just the United States. Like I said, it's pretty much every Western nation that are doing this. It's a plan. Cloud and pivot strategy. Bring everyone in, flood the system, cause division, cause strife, cause violence, cause crime, cause everything to go sky high and to be so bad that people will beg for the government to come in and do something, come in and save us. And when they do, it is full, complete dictatorship. And that's what the powers that be want, to actually control everything. You'll have a political leader, but he's controlled by the same people that control the UK, control the United States. They control all the G7 NATO countries. And that's another thing we're seeing with the tensions between the United States, the G7, Russia, China, BRICS. They're all trying to get dominating superpower status. They all want control. You got different factions right now trying to fight for that control. And when these factions want to control, they want to fight for that control, the people are the one that suffer. But this mass immigration isn't about votes. It isn't about anything besides causing division, displacing the native population, causing violence, causing resource issues, causing rioting, looting, and eventually causing the people to beg, to plead for martial law, dictatorship, military on the streets, curfews, cameras on every corner, firearms taken away, suspending the Constitution. That's what they want, because that's the way they're going to control the world. These people have plenty of power already, but they want more. That's what this is all about, getting more power, more control, more authority. And they may come in and tell you that when they come in and put all this in place, cameras everywhere, probably on your own property, in your own home, to keep up with what you're doing, to know everything about you, boots on the street, military on the street, patrolling, suspending the Constitution, complete martial law, especially in those urban areas. That's where it's going to be the worst in those urban areas. That's why they want you in smart cities, because if you're locked in a small city, they can control that better, they can watch you better, they can monitor you better. It's all about control, guys. It's all about control. It's all about putting in this one world government they control from the top down. And they want full control over everything. They want to own all resources. And, if they come up with a new pandemic during this time, they may send a SWAT team to your house after you've been disarmed and hold you down, inject you and your family with whatever they want to inject you with because it's for the safety of the population. And you gave away your freedom willingly, and you begged for the government to come in and save you in this police state. So you have no right to complain when they come in and forcibly inject you with whatever substance. When they come in and forcefully do whatever. When they take your property. After all, you own nothing and you'll be happy, and that is the plan. You'll have no property, you have no freedom, you have no rights. And they've always worked with this motto. If you look at history, every time they take more power, it's always through the same means. Crisis, action, solution, or it should be actually crisis, reaction, and solution. You'll have this crisis that usually they manufacture, and to take full power like that, you have to have a major crisis. That's what they're working on. We have everything right now going on with the economy, the border, wars, pretty much everything right now is coming together to have major crisis, major issues. So you have the crisis, and you have the reaction, and the reaction of the people is usually rioting, looting, violence, crime, murder, rape. Then they come in and offer the solution. And the solution is always to give them more power, more authority, more control. Just look at 9/11, for example. We got the Patriot Act. Every time they take a lot of power, take giant leaps forward, even small steps, to take more power away from the people, it's always the same thing. Crisis, reaction, or action. Crisis, action, solution. Like I said, it should be reaction because it's the reaction of the people. So crisis, reaction, and then they offer the solution. The solution never does benefit the people. It benefits the controllers, the people who own everything, the people who want to, the lunatic cult that wants to control everything with their iron fist. That's who it benefits. And they do this through governments from the top down, federal government, state governments, local governments. They all work together in this spiderweb network. But it starts at the top, and they work together all the way down that spider web to control everyone. And we have seen that the police will just follow orders. You know, you had Donald Trump. He wants to make it legal for the police to stop and frisk, direct violation of the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment. The people will say it prevents crime. I did a poll about this here a while back on my YouTube channel, and they will say that it helps crime. Had the police to be able to stop anyone they want to stop because they think you might look suspicious and frisk you. Because they want safety. And even the conservatives on the prepping channel, some people agreed with this because it's Donald Trump for one, and he wants to have stop and frisk, give the police power to stop and frisk anyone they want in the United States because they think you might be suspicious. It's got to be a good idea because Donald Trump wants it. If it was the other side, though, if it was Harris or anyone else on the Democrat side saying the same thing, they would be up in arms about it. But when it's their man, they think that it's okay because it's going to be fine because he just wants to stop crime. So we'll give over the Constitution, give over freedom for a little bit of safety. And that's what I'm saying. They cause mass destabilization, and that's what this whole open border thing is all about, is destabilization. And then they will come in after you get angry, get violent, and the rioting and the looting and the violence and the murder starts. They will come in and offer that solution. Martial law, full total power. Just give us more power, give us more control over every aspect of your life, over your property, over your freedom, over everything. Suspend the Constitution, essentially. And we'll make it better. We'll put military on the street. We'll have military patrols. We'll have cameras everywhere. We'll monitor, surveil everything. So we'll crack down on this, and you'll be safe. Just give us the power. That's the way it happens. They cause it. You have a reaction. They offered a solution, and the people says, please come in and do this. So the people ask for it. They don't come in and just force everyone to do. They don't come in and just declare martial law for nothing and force everyone to give over their rights and their freedoms and their property. They cause crisis, and the people will beg for it, people will ask for it. So you're essentially asking these people to come in and do what they already want to do already, which is take full, total control of the people. Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'm the Creekmore, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.